up, guys? Welcome out to the shop. I got it a little bit cleaned up today, and I had some people hit me up already. Said, hey, what do you got out in your garage? I see games in the background, and they were asking me about it. Some people are hitting me up on Facebook asking me about the shop area itself. So I figured to celebrate, we hit 300 plus subscribers already, which blows my mind because the channel's only been up about 28 days. And everybody keeps asking me, what's this October 2016? I had no intentions of actually starting the video series now. I was just kind of trying to knock out some, clients' games that I had, and to make room to start filming the actual show. When we start filming the actual show, I got real camera guys. I come from a broadcasting background, so I got a lot of guys in the industry. We're going to have guys with the mic booms, and we're going to shoot it like a real show. So when I say October 2016, that's when the real actual episodes, real in depth, they're going to start. And just overwhelming response. Everybody from Clav, thank you guys for your support. Everybody's been being so cool. My home Carolina Arcade group, you guys are amazing. You support me with all the videos. You guys are the ones that push me to do this. Arcade Collectors, worldwide group. There's so many. Midwest Arcade group. You guys have been amazing, and so I don't know. Maybe I'll film some stuff on the way up there until we start filming the real ones. Do some tips and tricks and stuff. Really, this was to work out all the kinks before we actually started filming. But I got such a great response from the Nintendo cab, and I got some other ones. But what I figured I'd do today, just to celebrate 300 plus subscriptions in a little less than 30 days, guys. It's like 10 a day. Like I'm overwhelmed, and I just love it. And, you guys are, the people that I met in the arcade world are some of the most gracious, cool people. And, it's just really, really cool how everybody supports people when you try to do something new. So again, thank you. So what I figured I'd do is bring you out here in the shop. We'll walk around, we'll look at it. We'll take a look at all the games I have here. Most of them are in various states of disrepair. It's just like being a mechanic. The mechanic always fixes everybody else's car, and then your car is a piece of crap. So all these are in various states of repair. Also, about a year ago, that's the other reason in October, marked the 1 year anniversary where we basically lost our house in the giant flood here in South Carolina. And I lost a good majority of my games. And, everybody in the arcade community really rallied behind us and helped us get it back on the feet. And, and that's kind of where the whole arcade body shop thing spawned from, because I wanted to pay it forward. I wanted to get my games back. So we'll go through each game real quick, and I'll just kind of give you an overview, like where I got it, what my plans to do with it. Is it going to be on the show? And then you guys, when you see everything, be like, hey, I'd really like to see that. Just let me know. And leave comments, man. You guys have been great. So let's get started. Let's start looking at some games. All right, let's start with this guy first. I got the most questions about this one. I know Sean asked about it. He asked about it on the YouTube channel, and he also asked about it in Clav on a thread. Ghosts and Goblins in a Dragon's Lair cabinet. Or it could be Space Ace. We don't know until we get into it. This is actually a really cool story. My good friend had me restore a Dragon's Lair for him, and I just told him I fell in love with it so much. And as a thank you, he went and found me this cabinet. So it was really cool. I did a full-on restore. I mean, that thing looked factory fresh when I was done with it. Brand new vinyl siding I got from Quarter Arcade. They make this, I think it's called Morocco, but it's a really textured side. Somebody actually painted the side of this, so I'll be doing that on this as well. Sadly, Ghosts and Goblins, the PCB's not in there. But I mean, it was just an amazing gesture. I mean, he hired me to do the game for him, and knocked it out of the park. So he bought me this as a thank you so I could have one in my collection. So I will be doing this at some point in time. I did his PC based, running Daphne, running through Hyperspin, because he wanted to be able to play all the different games, and it came out pretty cool. So I don't know if I want to bring this back to original, or maybe Dexter. I really like the whole Dexter thing. I think that's pretty cool. So that's definitely going to be on the list at some point in time. Next up, what do you guys think it is? This sat on eBay for a long time. A guy in town sells games, and it is a Captain America and the Avengers. So my son, who I really got into the arcade hobby for, because I didn't want him to sit in a room all day playing video games. So I wanted to get him out here and teach him some skills of electronics and woodworking, which I had a background in. And I noticed the 4-player. I noticed that, and then I looked it up. It was Data East cabinet, and so we plan on making this. I got pretty much everything I need for this, for the most part. It was crazy. Just recently, somebody threw out a Captain America, and it had the original coin door with all the stickers and everything on it. It would have been awesome to have, but somebody nabbed it so quick. So that's coming up. Spy Hunter. This is one of the games I absolutely loved as a kid. I'm so pumped up to get this. My good friend in Charleston, Matt Schwartz, he got me an empty cabinet that had some parts. And then I've actually bought this one, which had a PCB and everything. I'm going to be sending that out to CD Jump, who's going to be doing actually a lot of stuff on the show with us. He's like the MCR wizard when it comes to that type stuff. So it's in kind of rough shape. It seems like it was outside for a little bit, but I'm actually going to take all this stuff off and we're going to powder coat it. I got a powder coat guy who's amazing, and he's going to let us go film there, so we'll be able to see the whole powder coat process. So that Spy Hunter's coming up. The notorious pole position. Now this is actually the game that started it for me, because it was the first game that I got when I finally figured out that you could get an arcade game and it didn't cost you $8,000 to get one. So I went and picked it up. I actually got it running, and then I lost it in the flood because it was all MDF and it melted and just fell apart. And my good friend Matt found one for me, and I'll be restoring this. I'm also going to be doing an amazing restore for a cool guy. His brother has autism, and it's his favorite game. He loves pole position, and we're actually going to be doing a pole position and pole position 2, and I'm going to try to get it done for his birthday to give to his brother who has autism. So it's going to be a really cool show, really cool story behind it. And we also want to feature people with stories, about your games, and the whole. It's crazy to me how people just love games and they automatically return back to 10 years old when they're doing it. This is another one of my favorites. This got a lot of damage in the flood. The top all messed up. I put a brand new piece of plywood in here and cut that. It was MDF. It was all swollen. Recapped the monitor. I got the coin doors and everything. That's going out to powder coat. And this one's going to be pretty good, man. The side art's pretty good, man. It's a little baked on some spots. I think I can just touch it up. My wife is actually an artist, so I actually bring her in on a lot of this type stuff. So yeah, Moon Patrol, I love that. And then we're going to turn to, this is my mostly working row. And I'm pretty proud of this one. This is my son's Frogger. Now, I bought a Frogger for him 2 weeks before the flood, and we lost it in the flood. And that's all he wanted for his birthday. That's the only game he really loved and wanted it. And so a good friend of mine, Jen Hall, she found me a replacement cabinet, and I was able to salvage all the parts, and I rebuilt this for him. And just recently, we finished this about probably 3 or 4 months ago. Did some cool things, installed that metal bar across the bottom because it was just really chipped. He also wanted LEDs, so I installed green LEDs that shoot on the floor underneath it. I like it because it still looks standard, original, but it has that cool customized flair that he wants. All we got left to do on this is the control panel. I bought a new control panel overlay, so we'll be putting that on that. So pretty proud that he got it back though, man. That was pretty much the first game I rebuilt after the flood, because I just wanted him to have back his birthday present, so we did that. Asteroids. This is a cool game. Did a lot of work on this. Control panel is out to powder coat right now. I'm not probably going to do much to this. I'm probably going to repaint the front, maybe powder coat the door, but overall this one's in really, really good shape. So this whole row here is like my mostly working. So Donkey Kong, I'm going to be doing another one of those. I want to take a little break since I just did all that work on the other Donkey Kong. But this one just needs to be freshened up. This 100% works. Excite Bike, this is another great one. I actually got this for the cabinet because I wanted to build a Donkey Kong Jr. I even got, control panel and all that stuff. I have all the parts for this. I just got to go ahead and get it swapped out. And I love Excite Bike though, so I think I'm actually going to take the Excite Bike and move it over to another game. This is my Fix-It Felix Jr. I built this out of a MDF cab, and I built it for my kids. They love the movie, and it came out awesome, man. I had my friend do the artwork for this, the same guys that I showed in the previous video. They knocked it out of the park. We actually reverse printed the glass up here, and the only thing I didn't do is I just applied the sticker right to this, which I'm actually going to probably redo that and put it on the plexi just like the real one. So that's still to come, but that's all just PC based, but it looks just like it, man. It looks like the movie. And then Super Mario Brothers. This is another one of my son's favorites. I think I'm going to get one of those new switchers and actually put Excite Bike in here with it. I saw a cool video where they use the switchers where you can jump between Nintendo games. I think it'd be cool to have Super Mario Brothers and Excite Bike in there. So yeah, cabinets and, you know, just got to be touched up, man. Just fancied up a little bit. 100% works. Punch Out. This is a flood survivor. Now, to put it in perspective of how crazy the flood was, the flood water, as you can see, it was all rusted out. The flood water actually reached almost in between the two monitors. So that's how high the flood was. But the crazy thing is if you look at the cabinet, not a lot of damage. Like, it didn't really warp it. It didn't, you know, I think the enamel on it really protected it. For the most part, I bought a new, got a new power supply up here. It's for a PC-10, but they're the same. And I'm gonna do that because the whole bottom of this got all rusted out. But I cleaned everything out. And the big thing is when the water's receded, I used a lot of stuff. I put cat litter, believe it or not. I put cat litter into the bottom of the cabinets, and it sucked out a bunch of the moisture. So this is Double Dragon, Craigslist find. This is actually playing blind. It was actually playing, but it was missing colors, and then I recapped the monitor, and it still didn't work right, so then I just kind of put it on hold for the moment. So this is definitely one of my childhood faves, so I'm going to be definitely doing that at some point. This is a skill crane. My daughter, she likes the arcade stuff, but she wanted a crane from day one. And I was actually just at a regular auction, not an arcade auction. And this was there, and I got it for 35 bucks. And the crane was all down inside it. And literally, I just re-put it, the crane back together. I had to replace a gear, and it fired right up and worked. So I'm actually going to be restoring that with my daughter at some point. And then Miss Pac-Man, just down and dirty. You see the cat's been climbing on it. This one, I'm probably going to do a full restore and do the stenciling and all that. Here we got a Centipede. This one I got pretty much going, and everything was working fine, and then I moved it, and now the monitor's out. So I got to take this apart and look at it. It's really good shape, though. I got to put new side art on it. My buddy's going to print that for me. Rebuilt the roller, and that's super, super smooth. And so that's the plan with this, is get the roller, not the roller, the control panel overlay, paint the front, do the sides, then we'll figure out what's going on with the monitor. But it was working 100%. Tron. This was a casualty of the flood. I actually got this running, though, and so mechanically we're good. As you can see, the flood water got up into here and messed up the whole marquee. So I got to get a new one of those. And also there is slight swelling on the side. You can see right here, it's coming out past the T-molding there. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I might actually just take that side off and recut it. And I was thinking about laminating the outside and making it really cool. I've seen some people do that and it looks awesome. But mechanically it's working. And this was a project I was in the middle of when the flood came, Galaxian. So I fixed up most of this. I already had the side art, or the front art put on there. And then I did this one side. Hang on a second. And look at how beautiful that is, man. But I was actually able to save this cabinet because I stacked cabinets on their side. And I used the ones that were the most common. So I used, Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man, ones that I knew I could replace. And they actually held the weight of all these, and I stacked these up to the ceiling, and that's how I saved some of these games. So this was actually the Frogger that wasn't so lucky. This is like the row of fallen heroes right here, down here. And so this is the Frogger that sat in the water, this one side, if you look at it, you can see how swollen that is. I mean, compared to my finger, I mean, it's almost like 1.5 inches. But I was experimenting because I came up with a cool idea. What I did is I cut the T-molding groove deeper. Like I cut it like deeper than normal. And then I sprayed glue, wood glue. I filled the gap with wood glue and then sprayed it in with the air compressor. And then I used liquid hardener and then clamped it. And it literally brought it back to 3/4 inch. So I think I'm onto something here, and I wanted to experiment with this cabinet a little bit more. It's not something I'll keep. I mean, maybe if somebody wants a 61 or something. But it definitely shows promise, because you can see right here, here's where I did it. Then it goes wide again where I didn't do it. And then I did it again on this part. So I think that's something that we might be able to demonstrate and do down the line. But it's definitely a cool concept. This guy here, Asteroids Deluxe, look at how wet this guy got. It went up about halfway. This side is huge. This is like 1.5 inches, because there's that side, and then there's that side. So this thing just soaked up water like a sponge. I want to rebuild this though, because it makes me so upset that I literally fixed this. I had it running. I have the artwork already printed. And then the flood came and claimed it, and so this is personal on this one. And this guy right here is going to be episode number 1. This is my Pac-Man. This spent 18 days underwater, completely submerged under 4 feet of water. If you look at this control panel. So I pressure washed this. I cleaned it out. There's going to be a lot of parts that we got to replace, but this is going to be episode 1 because it's going to be the 1-year anniversary of the flood, and this guy deserves it, man. He held up all the other games so they could survive, and I'm going to bring it back to its true glory. And I also want to prove that if you can fix something like this, you can fix anything. And so this is going to be episode 1. It is a mess. I wish I could pull it out right now and show you the side art. It looks weird. It's like a weird patina because it was under like tea brown colored water. And this guy... how many of you know what this is right here? That's right. It is a journey. So we're going to be doing a journey at some point. I'm actually going to do something crazy amazing and crazy different with this one that you've never seen before. And this is going to be epic. This is going to be an epic build. We're going to be traveling all over the United States for different parts of this build. But yeah, this is a journey. So we'll be doing that. And then I got a Harlem Globetrotters pin. It is empty. Had an empty play field, and I'm not sure. I think I'm going to do a virtual pin. A couple of people asked me to do something, like that. So I think that's the plan. And then my wife got this really cool. It's like a home use only skee ball machine for the kids. So we're going to set that up at some point. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's the garage. That's the games that I got. I got some projects that are coming up, that are coming in. I'm going to be doing stuff for other people on the show. And I think I'm going to do a giveaway where, somebody's dream cabinet, I will restore it to like museum quality for them for free. And we'll be doing a drawing and stuff for that. So we're going to do some really, really cool stuff. I just wanted to take a minute and bring you in here and let you see the garage, let you see what's going on. Like I said, the real shows are going to be starting in October. And here's this guy. You guys went through the journey with me on this. And and the real games are going to start in October. Also got Super 6 darts, English mark darts. I need a new power supply for that, but that was my wife's birthday present. She likes darts. And so yeah, October 26th, 2016, we're going to do it. And what do you guys think? You want to keep doing some little jobs before this, or do you want to just hold off and do the real thing? So just let me know. And these are my next 2 projects right here. 2 Cuberts. I'm going to be doing 2 Cuberts at the same time. I already started working on that one for a bit. And this one was, a friend of mine bought it. Somebody said it was unsalvageable. And we want to prove that wrong and fix it. So this is going to be Bert and Ernie, and that's going to be my next thing. So let me know, guys. Let me know if you want me to go ahead and show the Cubert restores, because those are going to be the last things that I do before I actually start filming the real show. So If you want to see that, let me know. And thank you again so much for subscribing. Like I said, I'm so blown away by how many people have subscribed already, and we got lots of great stuff for you. So until then, tell your friends, share this, and keep working on those games.